Hey folks, we're back and we're at Circuit World in Blue Ridge, Georgia. It's a beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. A little cold out there, but we don't have hard crosswinds and rain. It's
not cold, it's nippy.
Bruce called it nippy. We're going with it. And that would be Bruce right there. Bruce, Candace, Rick, and Jane, and myself, BKP. And it's time for the all-star political panel here from Circuit World. Well, okay, let's go with the first subject. Simple as that. Shutdown. Government shutdown. Today, 800,000 government employees will not be receiving their paychecks. Bruce, does the President of the United States declare a national emergency and use the money through that route to build a barrier on the southern border?
Any moment now, yes.
He does. But do you think he should?
Yes.
Okay.
I think his options are limited. This way he can open the government up, said I did that, and I got the wall going, and, it's going to get challenged, but so what? He's done it.
Okay, let's just stay with the question, because I want to come back to that. Where does that leave?
I will take your follow-up.
Good morning.
Candace?
Glad you're back. Boy, am I glad you're back.
Candace, does he declare a national emergency, keep the government shut? What say you? What do you think he should do?
Well, I'm okay with the government being shut down, and I'm just real sorry for the people that don't get paid, but I'm more sorry for the people that can't go to work anymore, that are dead. Like Pierce Corcoran that was killed in Tennessee by an illegal alien drunk driver. And I don't. He can go that route if he wants to. I think he should just keep the pressure on them to make them look stupider and stupider, because when they were in a press, Nancy Pelosi was in a press conference yesterday, and this lady challenged her on the dead people that had died from the result of illegal alien. She's like, well, that's a tragedy, but we don't do. I mean, it just obviously goes straight over her head, and she doesn't care.
It's collateral damage.
It's collateral damage.
So you're saying?
I think that's the last resort. He can do it. I'm okay with it, but I'd rather him just keep the pressure on them for a little bit longer.
And what say you, Rick?
I don't agree with Bruce. I don't think he's going to go the. I think he's going to keep the pressure on the Dems to make them look, like Candace said, more stupid by the day.
Okay.
I think they're. I mean,
so do you?
Fox had a great article. Okay, first of all, the government employees. Yeah. Okay, they're not getting paid. They have choices. They knew going in when they took this job that there were going to be probably sometimes when the government was shut down over political discourse. They knew that going in.
Well,
it's
several
not,
friends
and it's
of
not.
ours, but one in particular, not to be rude and interrupt you, told both of us that when she worked for the government, they knew every year at the end of the year there was definitely a possibility that it'd be time
Absolutely.
before funding was in place and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when you work for the government, you knew these kind of things.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I don't think he's going the the emergency route.
You think the government should stay shut down? Well, is that?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, we got an I don't care.
Yeah,
There we go.
I mean, truly, I don't.
Right. Okay. Last,
and I think I'm in the majority, by the way.
All the above.
I agree.
So, same thing with you. Do you think he should go with the national emergency, declare that, or stay with the shutdown until somebody breaks?
Well, I think he should do everything and anything to get them to negotiate in some way. He cannot back down. He cannot give in. And that may sound a little harsh, but you heard all that rigmarole, how he said, let's compromise, let's do this, and they said, no, 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 no. And you heard all McClatchy and all of them come out. This guy has got to stick to his guns, and I think he's going to call for a state of emergency within 2 or 3 days. That's just my gut. Fine and dandy. But what I can't understand is, you watch the
I watched
Communist
him this morning.
Network.
Yeah, I
Okay,
watched
so
him
tell me
morning.
this.
Morning, Joe.
I watched him this morning.
When
smoke.
just a few people, Rush and them and Hannity, are playing Obama saying it's an emergency, we got to close these borders. When they play that, And then you hear them standing up saying what they're saying now. It's mind-boggling. Did they play that
no,
on the mainstream?
CNN, no.
They
CNN,
never give you that side.
No, and I'm glad you
truth.
asked, and that is why I do what I do, is because exactly, the group, and I want to go back, but before we do, this group here, for those at home, we watch those clips. We watch those clips of Barack Obama, President Obama saying we must secure our southern border, a barrier. Schumer. You will not see those clips on CNN and MSNBC. You will not. I watched this morning, yesterday. You will not see those clips. They don't even refer to them as the time when they said that, and the Democrats are changing their mind now, and I say that. All right, back to you. You had the head shake the whole time. Everybody's talking, so you obviously have something very strong you want to get back in with on this.
No, just a point of observance that, I agree with everybody to some degree, but the mainstream media is going to spin the shutdown more and more and make it worse and worse. Even the number of people that go into the federal government jobs knowing there could be a shutdown, they're going to pick on the ones who moan and whine and cry on TV. And then I think public opinion is going to start to swing against Trump. So that's why I think he should pull the emergency trigger.
Well, it's okay to declare an emergency when people want your money. When there's there's a national natural disaster or whatever, then it's okay. But anytime he has something he wants to get done and he passes an executive order or an emergency action, then it's all wrong, and we got to go to the Ninth Circus Court to get somebody to say that's not right.
Okay, let's say this. Let's switch a little bit. He goes to the border yesterday, and most of the networks, most of them, this morning at 5 o'clock, Trump makes glorified photo op appearance on the southern border. Okay,
I was asleep.
And we're seeing how Acosta, right, made a fool out of himself.
That was
Again.
that was
Yeah,
beautiful.
again.
That was
standing in front of a barrier saying,
yeah.
There's no problem
crisis
here."
Well, guess what? You're standing on the side that they can't get to because there's a barrier. No wonder the town seems nice and calm. Okay.
Yeah, it seems sort of tranquil here.
And then
How stupid is that?
CNN this morning is talking about, or MSNBC, how they have a barrier, but they found tunnels. So if you just build a wall, they'll tunnel through. Okay, guess what? The babies are not going to tunnel through. The moms are not tunneling through. The drug people are tunneling through. And we can, I'm going to tell you something, if we can drop a 30,000 foot, 60,000 foot bunker buster somewhere, and we can do radar that can pick
Sonar.
up where sonar. You're right. Where these
They got
missions,
planes that do that. Just
right.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. That is part of a major package of border security. The wall can't be just it. But I thought that was humorous. But I think they're making fun. How strong of a signal, and do American people pick it up when Trump is sitting there yesterday, President of the United States, with Sergeant or Corporal Singh's brother.
Reggie.
Yeah.
Did you hear him
I
yesterday?
heard
Yes.
that. That was tragic.
How moving was that for you?
Very moving. I mean, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the brother obviously,
Right.
said all the things that were meaningful to them as a family, and the fact that the little baby's not going to see her dad again. I mean, it's just heartbreaking.
How moving was that for you yesterday?
Well, it was heartbreaking. I got teary. Your throat closes up, and no parent should see a child die. That's the hardest thing in the world. And the thing that gets me is how I'm going to call her Nancy instead of Pelosi. Nancy polluted. I like that. So,
Nancy and Sluggo. Bruce and I coined that the other day.
Sluggo, Nancy.
Nancy and Sluggo.
they can
It's
sit
an
there.
insult to a good comic.
And I'm thinking of our left-wing buddies. They see Trump say, these are the statistics from ICE, this is the statistics from da-da-da, and they say, those are wrong. Those are
She
just
rejects
wrong.
her facts.
They just say that, and, well, I know they get killed, but, we've got to think of the baby. She just gets right off the issue. And so I tweeted about 3 days ago. I hadn't tweeted in 2 or 3 months. Only lost 3 people. And so, so I
But who's
tweeted-
counting?
I tweeted to Trump and said, I would like to see a town meeting with and invite Chucky and Polluted and families, and I would like to see them face to face.
Now, that's never
those
gonna
people.
happen.
Not gonna.
Right, it's not going to happen.
'Cause
And
they're
that
not-
could be a good thing.
Yeah.
They will never show.
They're going to refuse to come.
Right.
At least that makes them look that way. And I'm for bringing the cameras right back into the meetings,
I agree.
just like McClatchy said. And you know what? They're not going to have any meetings.
That's right.
Because
Then
they're
they'll
not
quit.
going to agree for, and then I think Trump can make a deal of that. I want you to know what's going on, people. I've invited them in with the camera, and they refuse to come to let you see what
Because
they're
then
doing.
they can't lie
I
on
think
him.
that's a good point.
Well, see, I think like watching, like you said, watching CNN and MSNBC, and how upsetting it is to me is, I think Corporal Singh's family and his brother is everything, and everything's a big word, everything that's right about legal immigration.
Right.
And
They're
the guy
dead.
that killed him and what's happening on the southern border is every reason why
We need the wall.
we have to protect our citizens. This man, he immigrated here from
Fiji.
Fiji.
so he immigrates here from Fiji, assimilates, learns the language,
Takes extra classes.
takes extra classes to learn English so he could be a law enforcement officer. Him, his brother, they are everything. And I don't know if, what did you call it, Nancy? Who?
Polluted.
I don't know if Nancy Polluted and Sluggo, as Rick referred to him.
Thank you, Ross.
Okay, but I don't know if Nancy Polluted and Sluggo, if they've looked and noticed the guy was not white.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Wait a minute. This guy is everything that's right about legal immigration that works. He's not white. His family's not white. So why is there no uproar and outrage that this man got killed from the left?
Because it
Because
does not
non-resident
serve their
Indians,
purpose.
non-resident Indians don't have the same
No, I understand
status
that. I'm
as
just saying if, you
blacks.
know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm at a loss.
It's selective journalism. I
Yeah.
mean, we've been talking
Yeah.
about this for 3 years.
It doesn't
Okay.
serve their purpose.
How long before we got a couple subjects today. How long before the American people break on this issue because they're showing phony, yesterday they went to 5 different places. It to me showed phony protests. They're already showing the phony protests. They're the left's getting people grouped together and phony protests, and they're finding people that said, a lady this morning on MSNBC said today she'll have to go sell her car.
In one day, kaboom.
Yeah, exactly.
Bada bing,
Yeah,
bada
they
Just
just
boom.
missed
car
one
today.
paycheck and she's going to have to sell her car.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lack of proper planning. In my
How
opinion.
dare you?
But there
I
was
know,
statistics.
I know.
There
How
were,
dare
How
you
dare I tell you,
imply?
it's your responsibility to pay for your stuff.
but there was a statistic this week that 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, including federal employees. 78%.
Okay, but how long before Americans break on this? To where does the
Break meaning we've
Well,
Yeah,
had-
what do you mean break?
No,
Break
well, all right,
means
here we
we've
go.
had-
No, the American people. How long before the American people break on this, and which side will they break to? Will there be the outrage over this by Donald Trump, and will they break and just will American people side with the 800,000 and go after Donald Trump, regardless if he said he's going to take it, or is he selling? I'm doing what I can. You agree on border security, and it's worth staying the course until Nancy and Chuck agree. Where's that break?
I can tell you right now, and I can give you the math on it
Go ahead.
because I wrote it down. There's the GoFundMe Build the Wall. The guy has raised $19,985,200. And I don't think that that's large donors. That's somebody like us giving $100, $50, $25. When you get that many people that are wanting to put their own money on something, people want the wall. I don't think they'll break. There'll always be these fake protests because you've got people like Soros paying people to go out and protest. And that's why they go. And they're not working because we don't have time to go out and protest. We're working. So That's the people that want the wall, and I think that they're going to hold pretty fast with Trump.
They started to talk about the call center at the in Congress, and they started to show some stats. Overwhelmingly, the calls in favor of build the wall was.
There you go.
I think the group of undecided on this issue is very small. I think the people that are definitely for the wall and the people that are never Trump, and I think that's pretty hard and fast. So I don't think there's a big group of undecided.
Are
For
the
Washington-
undecideds uneducated?
Well,
Or
whatever.
are they
I
just
don't-
stupid?
We just have 10 teeth.
I mean, what?
Because
that's
we're,
a rhetorical question.
I don't know.
I don't need an
All right,
answer.
But
How
how many people watch mainstream media and the other night saw Trump for the
And
first
believe
time?
what they hear.
8
well,
minutes.
there's a lot of people that
Okay,
don't even
now
watch
wait a minute.
news.
You brought up exactly, you hit it exactly. People say, the next morning after that, the Morning Joe group, and they were like, why did he hijack all the media and demand time? Now this is what they were saying, and demand time when all he was doing was speaking to his Fox News audience.
Yeah.
Ones
And
with
you
10
hit
teeth.
exactly the truth of what happened. The reason the president did that, which I think he did an outstanding job in 8 minutes, the reason he did that, it forced those networks, because if you watch any of those other networks, you never hear a positive thing or the truth.
Right.
Okay,
That's
never
true.
is a big. You don't hear it. So he forced. If you're an MSNBC viewer, ABC Nightly News,
CNN.
whatever you are, CNN, you watched him for 8 minutes that nobody said anything about him. And then immediately, how disgusting is it that
They allowed
call
them
him
to-
such a liar?
Yeah,
Isn't
they
that-
lied as they called him a liar. And then Nancy Pelosi, you've got the Department of Homeland Security Secretary giving her the facts. I reject your facts. She's like, it's not my facts. These are the facts. They're just like this. They're not going to see, they're not going to hear because it's a political ploy.
I think Pelosi is really, really just shooting herself in the foot
She's
every
going
time
for
she
broke
opens
and
her
she's
trap.
gonna get
I hope
there.
so. But you just keep seeing them walking on down the road saying whatever they want. That's what's worrying me, is that the people that only watch the mainstream media, I guess they're all in, like we're all in. We believe that we're seeing the truth. That I get the other side from you. Plus, Hannity and them put that stuff on in little infants and
Like the lady doing her nails when the guy
was
was
lady
talking.
doing her nails.
That was about the most disrespectful bunch of
you
excrement
saw
I
that.
have
It
ever
was-
seen in my
Ooh.
whole
What
life.
happened?
The guy
Ana
was,
Navarro.
he was talking. There was a guy talking about the statistics of the wall and people that died and things like. And she's over there
She
like,
brings
She's
up-
yawning and
It's all.
It was a fake
It was
thing.
canned, She
Yeah.
brings it up and just oh my
like,
God,
and
doing
she's
my
rolling her
nails.
eyes.
I'm so bored with
And
all
he
this
said,
stuff.
"You can do your nails, but you know who can't do your nails? People like Kate Steinle and all that have been killed by illegal aliens. They can't do their
How
nails
offensive.
anymore."
Okay, well, let me ask you this question then. We pay attention, but it's not until things like this that we hear some different kind of statistics. How many Americans are taken back that a partial government shutdown equals 800,000 federal employees out of work? How many are taken back to hear that? I was blown away by
Meaning
that.
that's way too
yeah,
many government
like, whoa,
employees.
wait a minute.
And these are
How many do you
non-essential.
think? Do you think
Some
there's-
of them you can't even find. I mean, you can't get rid of them. I mean,
They're not essential.
They're-
Why do we
they're
need
appointed.
them anyway?
we don't.
well,
But anyway,
when they
that's
say
beside the
non-essential,
point,
these are the people that work in museums, national parks, the IRS. How can the IRS be
The
non-essential?
I have
IRS
a
is,
question.
the
Yeah,
IRS is
I-
going
I'm
to.
going to put all of you on the spot.
They're not.
Oh,
going
here
to
we
shut
go.
down.
Oh, good.
Ready?
Start with her.
Ready.
This is what we get paid for.
That's
These
exactly
are why
right.
they
You
pay
ready?
us the
This
big
is-
bucks.
this is-
Wait, you're getting paid?
Relax.
Yeah, right.
We've been on
What's wrong with you? You
we've
shut
been on
up.
furlough for 3 years.
Non-essential political commentators.
Non-essential. They don't get a check. It's a zero.
Here's your
I love
non-essential all-star
They-
panel, folks, right here.
MSNBC this morning. MSNBC this morning is claiming they will get a check and it has a zero on it. Yeah, they claim that the federal
They're going to
government
take
will
the money to print all
Well, no,
those.
they'll print it and you'll get an envelope with a zero.
How much that costs to
but,
print a
all right,
zero
wait,
check?
slow down. So, let's lay this out. So you had an opportunity to visit the National Mall this past week in Washington, D.C., and you're over there, and you're taking a walk down through there, and you happen to have, you're drinking something, and you see a trash can, and it's rolling everywhere. Do you throw that can on top of there knowing it's just going to roll down on the ground, or you just hold on to that can till you can find somewhere to dispose of it somewhere else? Or
B.
I never throw trash anywhere except a can.
B.
Does it bother you to see these trash cans rolling over and wondering who are the people that know that can is full that keeps throwing stuff?
Yeah, they're the ones that.
LIV.
They're the ones at the gym that throw their stuff everywhere. They're nasty at home.
Yeah.
That bothers
There's
me.
some
Not
dirty
see-
people in the country.
Not seeing the cans full, it just bothers me. Who are you that you threw something knowing it went on the ground? And it must have been some liberals out there in there.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who really would not do that.
I wouldn't
I
do
would-
it.
I-
If
I
I see
grew
a
up with
trash
that.
can roll over and I'm in town and they haven't had a chance to pick it up, I don't like throw it knowing it's going to hit the ground. I find somewhere else.
There would be some
See,
conservative
we're
oriented people that would just throw stuff out the car window without even thinking. So
Okay, I think I think
see that
Trump.
every
I
day,
think
too.
Trump should not sign a thing. I do not think he should enact a national emergency. I don't think he should. I think
you
he
don't?
should. No, I think he should just sit up there and not sign
I would
anything.
just sit like this.
And I think the crack will be when when your family member calls you that works in the government and says, "Hey, I have the letter. They're going to, they're going to foreclose on my house. I have the letter. Can I borrow enough to make my mortgage payment?" Okay, because I want to say this. Not everybody has somebody to go to, and I want to be nice about it. And I say this from the bottom of my heart, really truthfully. Not everybody has somebody to go to, but we out here in the private sector, we have had economic turndowns where maybe we called a brother and said, "Can you help me with a car payment for 1 month?" Okay. We've done that, and nobody was trying to pass a bill on the floor to protect my car, protect my house. Okay, we've done that. Okay, we've had a situation where we called the power company and said, "Can you just hold on 10 more days in the private sector?" So today is the first day they don't get a check.
And they've also received
Period.
letters saying, "This employee works for the government. They are shut down. Please be patient with them."
Exactly.
So they've
So-
already had, and if you call your mortgage or your car, and I've done it because I've had hard times, can you please wait? Can you do this? They're very, very understanding.
Candace, you're 100% right. So you take the letter that's been given to you, your debt, your people that are holding your debt, regardless if it's your car. I want to tell you something. Let me tell you, yesterday when I heard somebody say, "Well, I won't be able to pay my cell phone," well, I hate it for you,
Yeah.
But all that said, you're 100% right. Today is the first day they will not get a check. When they do, they will get the back pay. And if you handle it properly with your lenders, you're probably looking at a situation where somebody's going to work with you.
but doesn't this mirror what we've been talking about with trade? Tariffs in China and all
You're
that.
100% right.
How much pain will people take before they scream?
They're already screaming about not being able to use their EBT cards.
And the mainstream media will have those people on front and center
Yeah.
day and night.
Watching them
Hey,
cry.
I think this shutdown's a perfect time. I think it's a perfect time to expose us some things that we can maybe readjust. I think we need to redo the TSA.
Hey!
Hello.
I think
Privatize.
I think
Privatize.
what we do is we stretch out that EBT
Absolutely.
card and we find out the people in need. And I think this country is a charitable country, and people are charitable, and we're going to take care of the people in need. This country will, and I think we find them able-bodied with the EBT cards. I think we find them able.
There's already a move underfoot for that.
That's
I
right.
need to hire people at our restaurant.
Exactly.
And come anytime to talk to me.
I got a question. Does anyone know if we're still sending money to Puerto Rico? Are we still sending money?
Yes,
Well,
we are.
our people aren't getting a check from today. Are we still sending all the
And we're sending it to Congress and the
$127
Senate,
billion
too.
dollars
Federal
in
aid.
aid, federal aid
Yes.
to all the countries? Is that still going out? And our people aren't getting a check.
Look, it's costing. It's.
Can't you
I'm going to give the American people.
reallocate the money?
I'm going to give the American people the respect. And I say I don't know how I'm coming across. I'm going to give them the chance to show how educated all the polls say they are. Okay, because the polls are
Or aren't.
the vote. No, the voters. No, the voters when they do, they break it down. You know, the educated voters. You know,
Yeah, white women, educated,
all that.
black women.
So I want to give the American people an opportunity to stop and say, this is costing at the bottom end this country $155 billion a year. It is a strain on our hospitals. It is a strain on our education system. These people do not know out there really how many local education systems are on the verge of collapse. They don't talk about it.
Hospitals too.
Hospitals. But we have an enormous problem. It's $155 billion a year, and we're talking about 5.7 for border security.
It's like
Okay.
a dollar.
It's ludicrous.
Right? So the bottom line is I want to give the American people a chance to say, you know what? And I'll tell you what, we need workers. So if federal workers, I heard yesterday, some federal workers are getting so upset they're quitting. Great.
Good. Come
Great,
get a
quit.
real job.
Quit. Let's only put back 700,000. Let's lose 100,000, and there's jobs out here now. So it's a perfect time to be shut down for a while.
It's a good time to go look for something
I agree.
new.
But their union is going to stand up for them because, you know, all federal
All right.
workers have a
You got
union.
anything else on this subject? Because I got one that's going to light you all up.
Oh, come on.
Hey,
Let's go. Let's go.
bring it,
I
fireman.
can't wait.
Have to take a quick drink.
This is
Hold
what
on a
you
second.
get paid for.
Nobody else chime in.
Zip it.
We got to do
No,
this.
you.
This
you
is for
pay attention.
you.
This is for you.
Oh, for
This
what?
bud's for you.
It's for
I want your
you.
reaction.
Okay, I'm ready. Are we on?
Yes.
But I
Is-
thought we were on a break.
No. It's
Oh,
really.
geez.
You got a break when you were hired.
Hey, she's hired.
Like, that joke is old now.
I'm
Bruce.
serious. I'm serious.
One season you've used that joke twice. All right, stop. Ready? Don't want anybody say a word. Is Ruth Bader Ginsburg still alive? Was that wrong?
No.
Was that
Yes.
wrong?
Now, barely.
Was it?
She's
Bruce
al-
said yes.
she's barely alive.
Barely.
They're giving her all kinds of drugs to prop her up. But
Are they doing the mirror under the nose test to see if it fogs up?
Oh, I think they're going.
I want to see I want to
There's a
see
few
her holding
lines
a
on there.
newspaper with today's date on it. That's what I want.
Oh yeah.
That's what he
Who
wants.
knows? But the thing is, she's not going to make it. 2
Moon
years.
landing will not,
2 years.
will not
count.
be qualified. Moon landed on the moon. No, Ruth, wrong paper.
Hey, remember that shot on what's the movie where the Hopkins goes in and his mom's still in the chair or something?
Oh,
When it's
and,
dead. That's
the
going to be
Psycho.
Ruth. I mean, they're going to keep her alive till 2020, and they're going to say, "Here she is." And
I'm not being mean. What say you?
About Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Yeah, I said if she's still alive, jokingly, we'll leave it at
I
that.
think she's going to suck it up as hard as she can, as long as she can, until she falls down, and then she'll be replaced.
She just did fall down. That's why.
She said she would do the job until she can't do it full steam.
That's right.
Her own words. So you define full steam.
Well, she's doing it by
we can
Skype
debate
right
a
now.
bunch of stuff like, get McCain or get this or that. That really gets into
Well,
the weeds.
I don't know about today. I've not checked this morning, but first time in, is it 32 years, 23, how long she's been on the bench?
33.
She didn't go
years or
to
whatever.
the opening
That she's
argument.
missed
Oral
3
arguments.
days.
Yeah.
3 days of
3 days of
oral,
oral
3 days in a
arguments,
row
yeah.
But I
of
mean-
oral argument. And whether we agree with her or disagree with her, she has had some spots removed from her lung, right?
Yes,
For lung
cancer.
Cancer
right?
2 or 3
Malignant.
times.
Malignant spots.
tumors.
Okay, so she's had some tumors removed.
And she's had pancreatic cancer before.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Which is usually
and
never
if I'm right, just
beat.
no notes. She's 85. Is that correct?
And she
Yes.
said she thought she could go to 90 because
Right, she's
some other
85.
justice had gone
Now-
that long.
Somebody
I
on
want-
Facebook said glioblastoma, the thing that McCain
I
had.
want to say this.
I'm not sure McCain had
All right, I'm going to say it anyway.
it. Okay.
Oh boy.
All right, ready? Hang on.
Brace
Yeah.
herself.
Got the filter ready?
I think the Democrats are so low. They are the lowest people. I mean, if you pick up a rug that Democrats are under, it's right there. That's how low they are.
Yeah.
The dirt is how
The
low
amoebas on
Nancy
the dirt.
Pelosi
I
and,
second
and,
that.
and Chuck Schumer are. Could she maybe expire, lack of a better way to put it, and Nancy and Chuck say, oh no, we're not ready for that crisis yet. We need 2 more weeks. yeah, it could happen.
Oh yeah, you remember when
They're
Fidel
that
Castro
low.
was like
They
almost
don't
dead?
wanna- They don't want to mess up right now. They're that low.
They're gonna
I'm
use
telling
her
you.
death
You're hanging around with conspiracy theorists way too much.
That's how
Never
low
let
they
a good
are.
crisis go on.
Man, they don't have time for that, because what happens if it comes out today that she retires, and here they are trying to fight the border situation, and next thing they know, Trump wins the day again. So who does Trump? I predict 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Ruth has to go.
Really?
Yeah, 2 weeks. They're going to hang on for 2 weeks, I
That's
think.
encouraging.
I'm just saying that because they are talking about her retirement. Rumors are, and I don't like to use those because a lot of times rumors that come out of the White House are not true, but the rumors are that the White House is preparing for that possible, the rumors are that the White House is preparing for that possible Supreme Court pick. Right?
Confirmation battle.
Right, so that's the rumor right there. And Trump and Pelosi and Schumer need 2 more weeks on this crisis for the news cycle. They need 2 more weeks, and then they'll jump to the next one. So Ruth is 2 weeks away. That's my prediction. And who does Trump pick?
I don't have a clue.
Amy Barrett,
Yeah, I agree.
Is she the one that was
Maybe.
in the running last time?
I don't know.
Notre Dame,
Yes.
Yeah.
5
Yeah,
kids,
Notre Dame.
Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Boy, that'll be
Feinstein's
tough. That'll
already
be tough.
Well,
attacked
you
her.
know, she's a nice young woman with a nice
Are there
family,
any
so
Hispanic
she couldn't
women?
Be right.
In
I don't know,
the
but
quiver.
You do know. I don't know, but you do know that the last time. You do know the last time that.
Kavanaugh.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Trump is the one that said Amy Coney Barrett would be next. Did he not?
Correct.
Yeah,
So-
those were the two that ran
And,
neck
and,
and
and,
neck.
and, that's actually my pick. I had her pick before.
That's
Kavanaugh.
who I thought would get it, just
Yeah,
because
what
she's a
happens?
woman.
What happens in the interest of time? In 2 weeks, this guy. It's said to the nation that this guy's going to get his third. It's going to freak them out.
Oh, it's-
man.
oh, there's
His
gonna be-
third
there's gonna be-
Supreme Court. 3 on the Supreme Court going to come from
Those
Donald
heads
Trump.
will be spinning unbelievably.
Exploding.
Let me tell you, there's something else coming up that's going to be at Donnybrook, and I think it's going to be Kavanaugh too. Is Bill Barr.
Bar.
You think Barr this week?
Regardless of what happened in the last time that he went, and he was, keep in mind when he when 41 nominated him, he went through, he sailed through.
Right.
I mean, nobody voted against him. It was totally nonpartisan. Now, it's going to be interesting to see and what their excuse is going to be. And it's going to come back to some of the comments that he made about the Mueller investigation.
Well, he thinks it's
Okay. Well,
not a witch hunt.
let's put this into perspective.
So that's-
It's William Barr, right?
Yes,
Is that his name?
Yep.
And he is a former Attorney General for
41.
41.
2 years.
2 years, and he is the nominee for Attorney General, and confirmation starts this week. Now, so
He
let's
preceded Janet Reno.
right, but let's put this together, and then we'll just go down the line here. What do you make of Rosenstein retiring and leaving?
Oh,
But
Well-
what signals do you think that sends?
It's so convoluted because I go deep down in the thing, you know I do. So
Yeah.
is Rosenstein actually a white hat? Do the white hats have stuff on Rosenstein? So he has to. They're going to let him retire if he spills the beans. He may have already spilled the beans. I mean, I get all into that thing. So I think Rosenstein saw the writing on the wall. Number one. I don't know if they're actually going to indict him. He broke the law many times. He re-signed the FISA. He knew it. He colluded. I mean, shall I wear why? There's so much on him. I really don't know what's going to happen to him. If he's going to go to Gitmo or if he's going to turn and kind of slide in, kind of like Lindsay. You know, Lindsay
Slide in
turned-
or slide out?
Well,
I think he's sliding
slide
out.
under the radar because he's going to give so much information.
I think he's running
I'm thinking.
scared, and that's
All
why
right,
he's
all
leaving.
right. So what? All right, okay. But
So that's
what say
complicated,
you, Rosenstein leaving?
I think it signals that the Mueller investigation is close to being over.
Because there's
Okay.
nothing.
I think it's going to. I think his leaving is dovetailing with that, and you know the storyline is that this position should have only been 2 years, and he's going on 2 years, and he wants to
Yeah,
give.
that's the story.
The storyline. He wants to give Bill Barr a clean slate
Well,
when
I
he
think-
comes in.
I think you're right, because I do know when Jeff Sessions recused himself, that Rosenstein was the one that was the lead on that. That came from his
Right.
office. So I don't think he would leave knowing and giving that to somebody else. So even though Whitaker has it, but Rosenstein I don't think would leave if he felt that Mueller wasn't wrapping up. So you feel he's wrapping
Well,
up?
the courts already gave Whitaker the green light to
To serve. To do it, not have to recuse himself.
and not have to recuse
But
himself. Yeah,
in Rosenstein, you think he's leaving because Mueller's wrapped up?
I think so.
All right, what say you?
I think that it's because, first of all, I sort of felt like Jeff Sessions went in there to destroy something on himself or other people he knew, and they both had plenty of time to destroy any evidence that might be incriminating to them. And
You
that
think Jeff Sessions wanted to destroy evidence against himself?
I think so. Because
Wow.
of what purpose was Jeff Sessions?
I think you're going to find out, and it might
Yeah.
not be that.
Well, I'd
Just-
love to
just-
hear
All right,
good on
okay,
him,
I'm
but
with you.
right
Yeah,
now
just-
I feel bad on him because I feel like he was the original mole in the campaign, and I feel like that they were destroying evidence. They probably destroyed all they need to now. Rosenstein feels like he's going to get caught at something he's done, so he's like, "Bye, kids, I'm out of here." I think that they're all guilty of sin, and the writing's coming up on the wall, and they're trying to get out. And I don't think anybody will get indicted for anything the way things are going now. It just seems like everybody that's done horrible, awful, treasonous things have gotten away with it, and I just don't know that that's going to change.
It is.
Writing on the wall.
I'm going to go.
New team coming in. Nothing new's coming out. The Mueller thing, or it's going to wrap up soon. So all the above. Who knows?
Well, the thing is there was a letter sent out, and I don't know, the United States Attorney Huber, okay?
John Huber.
Where is he?
Yeah.
Well,
Where in
well-
the
Two
world
people I
is
want to know. I
John
want to know
Huber?
where Ginsburg is, and I want to know where Huber is.
And Huber, they asked for a special counsel. The Department of Justice rejected the special counsel, but said they would assign Huber out in Salt Lake City. And I had Congressman Doug Collins on 2 days ago, or yesterday morning.
Yesterday.
Just yesterday. Congressman Doug Collins was on yesterday morning, and he said, well, because they sent a letter, Congressman Collins, Mark Meadows, and
Jim Jordan.
Jordan sent a letter demanding, where are you at in reviewing all this? He didn't show up. Huber didn't show up in December. And Collins said yesterday, hey, they thought they were going to kick the can out to Utah and we'd all forget about it. So I don't know. What do you make of with a couple minutes, because we want to get your final subject, or winners or losers, or however you want to use your time. But what do you think of Cohen now going to Elijah Cummings for the House?
Judiciary.
No, oversight.
Oversight, excuse me.
Oversight. Elijah Cummings going to bring Michael Cohen in next week to do a show in front of the
That's going to be
American
just
people.
a dog,
Dog and
pony.
pony show.
Yeah, dog and pony.
Yeah, Elijah's never seen an expose kind of hearing he could resist, so they're just going to try to drag Trump through the mud.
That's just, yeah.
That's all it is. It's
Last
just
ditch
muckraker.
effort.
No
Yeah.
big deal in my mind.
Yeah.
Are you of the belief that some things are getting ready to be exposed?
I'm of the belief things are happening that is not publicized. There are 3 or 4
I'm with you. I agree with
people
that.
that I believe and have listened to for 2 years for sure. And I believe things are happening right now.
Because I think it's interesting, and I know you will too. And I still think it's interesting.
Well, the rest of us?
We don't know about you. I still think it's interesting.
We don't know about you.
that Lindsey Graham is the Lindsey Graham he is now.
Hello. That's
do
a
think that's interesting.
big, that
It's
is
still
like
interesting.
one big 3.
It is.
Yeah, but he's depressed.
And I think it's interesting that he is now going to lead the Justice Department, not Justice Department, the Judicial Committee on the Senate. And I asked Collins yesterday if he felt that that's Doug Collins' counterpart. Doug Collins is the ranking member in the House, but Graham is so the House is kicking a lot of their stuff over to Lindsey to
It
run
is
with.
gonna be big.
I asked him yesterday if he felt Lindsey would. He feels that they will. And now the guy that's the head of the Judicial Committee in the Senate is encouraging Trump to go with the national emergency, which is using some powers, and it's coming from Lindsey Graham, and that's interesting to me. It just is. There's some things out there that
I don't know if I
people
trust
need to
them.
I think he's got it.
No,
I hated Lindsey Graham. I didn't
I
want
always
to hear
thought he
that
was a
man talk,
wuss.
but I'm telling you, he turned like 180 like kaboom.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. It didn't just, oh gosh.
My
I
best
was
friend's
wrong.
dead. I've got to
Come
change the
on, he
course
had
of
an
my life.
epiphany.
Well,
Or 3.
He had
All right,
more
I
than
gotta
an
say,
epiphany, I'll tell you that.
You got to stay on schedule. It's 9:20 because I do have some guests and some other guests, and
But
I
none
You
is
didn't
im-
tell us you had guests.
None as
All
important
right.
as
I have
us.
to stay on schedule. So, final thoughts, winners or losers, Bruce. If there's I always want to leave maybe that 10-minute window where if there's a subject we didn't cover.
I just wanted to throw out, the interesting group of Dems that are lining up to run in 2020. Not all of them are confirmed, but there's a bunch of them. Let's read them off. Liawatha.
That was so good. I haven't heard
I
Lyle
know
Walker.
you didn't go with Lyle.
Lyle.
Kamala Harris, Spartacus Booker, Eric Swalwell. He's a California guy.
As soon as Beto gets out of the
Beto.
Oh, gee, did you see that?
Julian Castro, Bernie, of course, is going to be around. Guy Merkley out of Oregon, don't know who he is. Sherrod Brown out of Ohio. Delaney, formerly in Maryland, and Joe Biden hanging out in the winds.
Uncle
And they say
Joe.
he's leading the pack. That is the most.
He is so confident.
It's
Let
an
him
interesting
push
group
him
so
right
far.
out there.
It's an
That'd be
interesting
great.
group so far.
What was the very first thing that time that Joe Biden? What was the first thing that kicked him out of running for president the first time he ran?
He was the king of jelly beans.
I don't know. I mean,
Plagiarism.
Plagiarism.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, he's such an
Is that your
honorable-
Not winners, little bit. It's your subject.
yeah. I just thought, people might like to talk about
I will
that.
tell you why you're on that subject. You got to pay attention to Tom Steyer. Okay, Tom Steyer made a commitment this past week to spend $40 million to impeach Donald Trump. $40 million.
Yeah, and pulled his hat out of the ring because they were
Wait
talking
a
about
minute.
him.
You got
But there was
pull
a
his
key, there's a
hat.
key piece that's
You
missing
got
there.
pull his hat. You're 100%
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Because when Tom Steyer went on ABC back in November or whatever, and he did an interview with George Stephanopoulos or one of them, Chuck Todd, he said he was considering running for office, but he had 5 points. And if he found a candidate that met his 5 points, go Google that he would not run for office. So my interest is, who is Tom Steyer's candidate?
Who is he supporting and who did he
Who is he-
align with?
Yeah, the one I didn't mention though was Michael Bloomberg too. He's a possible, and he's got Boku money.
Okay, Candace, a subject we didn't hit, winner, loser, whatever you
Well,
want.
my winners are Brian Colfage, we spoke of it earlier, did the GoFundMe for the wall and has raised almost $20 million. He went to Washington, D.C. to collect the dollar that Pelosi said she would give for the wall. And of course, she wouldn't see him. She sent aides out to patronize him. This is a veteran that is a triple amputee, and it'd be the least you could do to speak with the man and give him his doggone dollar. But the real winner is Ben Bergquam of Fresno. He's a conservative. He objected to the inauguration of the new California governor, who's married to his partner, not his wife or his spouse or anything else, Gavin Newsom, citing blood on Newsom's hands for Ronald Singh's murder, and that he had already broken his oath, which is to protect the country from enemies, foreign and domestic. Of course, nobody paid attention to him. But
Rush gave him
Rush
10
gave
minutes.
him, I heard
10
that.
minutes.
I heard that. And he's right. This, the whole
on
thing
that
that he
show.
said is right. And the top winner has to be President Trump for standing up to Pelosi and the pressure of the Democrats. Now, for the loser, and this kind of loser, ex-Governor Jerry Brown, who thinks that sanctuary city policies have had little to nothing to do with the murder of the police officer Ronald Singh. Nancy Pelosi, who's always our favorite loser, showing what kind of America she is for by favoring illegals and foreign people, that she would rather do things for them rather than protect the people of the United States. And for the blood on her hands for Pierce Corcoran, who was just killed this last month in Tennessee. And of course, Chuck Schumer is the ultimate loser because
Sluggo.
Nancy
Sluggo.
has confiscated his man card and won't give it back. Drop
And
the
you-
mic.
I don't want to comment on that manhood thing.
Well, no, thank you.
Losers. The Coastal Twins, Bill de Blasio and Gavin Newsom.
Medicare for all.
Gavin Newsom. Their social programs that they want to implement, giving health care to all. And de Blasio coming out and saying that he's going to do a nationwide tour because there's a national crisis currently because people don't have 2 weeks paid vacation. That is just insanity. My winner of the week is Pompeo for the great speech he gave.
Absolutely.
In Saudi Arabia, and he excoriated the previous administration.
Absolutely did.
That's my winner of the week.
Good pick. Good pick. I right there.
And moi? Okay. People who watch this regularly know, periodically I wear this. And why I wear this is when I feel particularly patriotic or something to do with what's going on. And now I'm wearing it today because it seems like 2 weeks ago it was the worst you could get. It was scary. 4 weeks ago it was scary. What are we going to do? 16 was scary. Now it's really scary. And so we have to stay together. We have to stick together. We cannot back down. We cannot get complacent. We have to talk to our neighbors. We have to keep up the movement, keep up the plan. Where we go one, we go all. God bless America.
Amen.
Giddy up.
Can I do quick winner and loser? Because I didn't know.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Sir.
Loser to me was Jim Acosta standing in front of the wall, like you said. I mean, he's trying so hard to make it a big thing. But the winner is Tim Tebow. He just got engaged to Miss Universe of 2017.
He did.
A really nice lady with a very funny name, Demi Lee.
And a very
Nell
big ring,
Peters.
7.25 carats.
And
Yeah.
it's internally
Yeah, she's
perfect
South
like
African,
her.
and he said I was only going to find a girl that really loved Jesus as much as me, and he did.
Well, praise the Lord. I'm glad he did.
Okay.
She's South African.
I want
South
to
Got
African.
a discount on a diamond.
I want to thank
He
all
had
of
to
you,
import.
all of you for your in-depth discussion, and it's just that. And I know they appreciate it out there because you guys do have some in-depth discussion. We got some different things. We got some different things. We look at. We look at some things different, but at the end we're able to understand what we're trying to accomplish. And I will say this, when you talk about Democrats and Republicans, let's just say 1960, okay? And let's say we had a southern border crisis in 1960, and we had a southern border crossing problem, and we had a major fight between Democrats and Republicans in 1960 about this crisis on our southern border. The argument would be where they felt they needed to build the wall first.
Right.
That's the difference. Okay? Democrats would say we need to protect this first. Republicans would say we need to protect this first. But in my heart, I want to say both of them would be arguing not whether we need to protect the country, where we needed to do it first. Okay? And that would be the difference. So that is where we've gone. There's no such thing as these bipartisan moments that you long for or hope will happen. My winner, my loser is the American people and the institution, if that's what I want to call it, of the floor of the House of Representatives, where the new Democrats came into power, and the new House rules have been changed, and they now allow what's called religious head covering. That's disturbed me so bad. One, yes, it's Muslim religious head covering. And two, not to make a joke, but I certainly hope somebody doesn't walk in with Mickey Mouse ears and say, we started a Mickey Mouse religion last week, because that possibly could happen, as silly as it sounds. That has bothered me so much, that one thing alone of changing the House rules to where you can allow head covering.
But what about, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the 1953 law that says Muslims cannot hold public office in the United States?
Ignored.
Second,
Yeah,
second,
Bring it up now and you'll get shot.
yeah, really.
second, building on what Candace said, because I host the show, I get 3. Second, it's very disturbing to me what an oath
like
is.
Trump gets 2
because
scoops.
Rick brought up, what Rush brought up, what Gavin Newsom, the new governor, did not keep an oath. The oath in the United States of America is useless. You cannot place your hand on the Quran and say you're going to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Not possible.
Nope.
And Sinema out there in Arizona, because she is probably the most pro-abortion and she does not identify with any religion, that's her business, took her oath on the Constitution and nothing else. Folks, we got some bigger problems, but I tell you what we do have. My winner is Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is 19 years old. He took all the pressure, all the heat. I had an opportunity, you're tired of hearing of it, I had an opportunity to watch that young man play high school football down in Cartersville 3 times in his career on the sideline. I knew that day I was, the 3 times I was able to watch him in high school that I was watching something that was just amazing. And the way he handled himself the other night in the national championship game was just amazing. Trevor Lawrence, 19 years old, true freshman, way to go. Georgia might not have been in it, but a Georgia boy took it home. That's all I got. You guys have a nice week.
Okay.
I've got North Georgia Senior Living. You want to stay with us? North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, Community Relations Director, Cameron Hall, right after these messages.